All right, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cut it.
Go for it.
Ready? 1, 2. It's a sign. So hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So my audio went out temporarily at the beginning of this video, so I'll just be doing a quick voiceover. So today is the day that my husband is cutting his locks. Y'all, my husband has had his locks for about 10 years now and has been growing them since we were in college. So he's had his locks since 2009. And when he started off his locks, he did not start off from having a fade. He actually had hair before that he just began his locks with. Sad life, y'all. This is like my hair. Like I literally like vicariously live through my husband's hair. I didn't necessarily want to get locks, but I kind of went through the phase of washing it, redoing it, you know, on my husband. So it was like I got the experience through him. So now that you're cutting it, it's like part of me is dying.
Part of me is dying too. So.
Part of you is rejoicing. Most of you is rejoicing.
I mean, it's been good. It's not all bad, but I'm just ready for something different. So.
But what was your hair like before you had locks?
I mean, I had everything. I had cornrows. I had like singles. They call them plaits. I had just about everything. I had an afro. I had it pressed, ponytail pressed, all that to the sides.
So have you ever had a fade?
Yeah.
When?
Back in I
don't remember.
Maybe middle school, and then I think maybe toward the beginning of it might have just been middle school, and I mean elementary school as well too.
Well, let's not make this process long and drawn out, but I just wanted to, for you guys to get a backstory, just in case you had any questions about what his hair was like. We'll continue to show you the takedown process, and then at the very, very end, we'll just do the final look with his locks completely combed out. So, let's get into this. So this is a view of my husband's locks. From the back, as you can see, his locks go all the way down to the end of his waist. So right now I'm just gonna measure his lock to see how long his hair has grown. And when I measured this single strand, the one lock was about 31 inches. So a couple of items you will need to make this takedown process easier is a rat tail comb. So this comb has a metal end, so it makes the process of getting into the lock easier. Next, I'm using some T-pins. The reason why I like using T-pins is because they have a really sharp tip, so it makes getting in between the lock a lot easier. The next thing I'll be using is my oil mix, which is just a mixture of some of my favorite oils. So now I'm gonna show you the lock removal process. So my husband doesn't want to keep all of his hair, so I'm actually gonna cut his hair and only keep about 4 to 5 inches remaining of the lock. So I'm gonna take this lock and then cut it. Now I'm gonna take my T-pin and begin picking it out with the T-pin, starting at the tip of the lock and then working my way upward. Once I got to about 2 inches of the lock picked out, I'm now just unraveling it with my fingers. I'm gonna take my oil mix and saturate that lock in my oil mix. Make sure it's nice and coated. Once that section is nice and coated, now I'm gonna take my rat tail comb and then begin combing out the lock, starting at the tip and then working my way upward. And in this process, you're gonna lose a lot of hair. Obviously, this is a lot of hair that it has shed over the years that has not been combed out. You're gonna obviously see a lot of hair in the comb, so don't be alarmed. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible in this process, but it's kind of difficult. But as you can see, this is what the lock looks like when all of it is completely combed out. So I'm gonna show you that process all over again. Take the next lock and cut it. I'm gonna cut it and leave about 4 to 5 inches. Now I'm gonna grab my T-pin and begin picking out the lock, starting from the tip of the lock and working my way upward. And then once I get to a good place, I'm then going to take my fingers and then separate the lock as much as I can with my hands. And then I'm gonna take my oil mix and saturate that lock and smooth that oil through the strands, and then finger detangle if possible. And next, I'm gonna take my rat tail comb and begin combing out the lock, starting from the tips and then working my way all the way through the roots. So this is what my section looks like. So in case you're wondering what kind of oil this is in here, it's an oil mixture that I normally use in all my previous videos, which is just avocado oil, jojoba oil, and some essential oil in it as well. And it's just a combination. And what I do is spray it on his hair because the mixture creates a slip and it makes removing the debris that's in his locks really, really easy. So don't forget your oil. And so right now what we're gonna do is continue the rest of the process throughout the rest of his hair. My husband actually helped me with the process to make it a bit easier. So as you can see, I'm just working my way through the same steps that I showed you throughout the rest of his hair. Another thing that makes this process a lot easier is that we had been planning, he had been planning to cut his hair for a couple of months now. And so what we did is that I haven't retwisted his hair in a couple of months. And so I think that is what also makes this process a little bit easier. And two, when he first locked his hair, it took his hair about a year for the locks to really hold, and I realized that. And so some of his new growth obviously is not a year old, and so I think that contributes to why it's easier to remove the locks versus like if we were to comb out the bottom portion of his locks that is really matted versus up here where it's not as matted. So for the last 10 years, I've been maintaining my husband's locks. So with the washing, the retwisting, the styling, and all that jazz in between. I've even cut his locks just because at one point it had gotten too long. I did not begin his locks myself, someone else did, but I just maintained them over the last 10 years. So this is his hair after all the locks have been completely combed out. He's looking a little crazy, but we're gonna take care of that real quick. So shortly after this, I actually went through his hair and combed out or lifted up all the dandruff that was on his scalp. So this is a clip of all the shed hair that came from the locks that we combed out. And now this is the big reveal, y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? So this is the new Aaron Tillman. I don't even recognize this person. But yes, I think his haircut looks really, really good. I think the barber did a fantastic job. But this is what his hair looks like, y'all. Today's the big reveal.
Woo!
So after 4.5 hours of...
tedious, long...
Yeah, for about 4.5 hours
exhausting.
of cutting his locks and then combing them out.
You did most of it though, so.
I know I did do most of it though, because he was moving a little slow like molasses.
I was trying. It was hard.
Slow
I didn't have a good
like
angle to
molasses,
do it.
y'all. Okay.
But
Because I actually have his locks here. All of his hair.
if I can still kind of get in there, maybe.
I know. His locks are really, really long. Like just one of these, literally comes down, and this is my waist, beyond my waist, which is crazy. Didn't even think that his hair was that long. It didn't look that long because it's tall. My husband's about 6'2", and so 31 inches of hair was at the middle of your waist?
Just about, yeah.
The middle of your waist.
Backside, yeah.
And mind you, I left between 4 to 6 inches of hair on top of his head, so that when he goes to the barber, he would have enough hair to work with. And so maybe this probably is 25 or 27 inches, and this is at my waist. This is the final product. So after we did everything from there, we actually found a barber who actually was willing to stay beyond 8 o'clock because they closed at 8 o'clock, and we got there 7:45. And he was gracious enough to be there for an extra hour just to get his hair done and cut his hair. And we like it. It turned out really, really nice.
Yeah? It feels good. It definitely is new. It's a new season kind of for me, just ready for something different. So I can feel like the weight is really gone off hair. The kind of freeing. I don't smack people when I turn my head anymore, which is always fun. I don't sleep on my hair. It used to try to choke me at nighttime when I went to sleep. So it feels really good.
Nice and weird. So now it's still weird. Like I still keep looking at him like,
yes,
look at your hair. Like, what did you do?
Trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah, and like because he's had his hair for so long, like people don't know him without his locks. Like people don't know him without hair at all. But more specifically his locks, because he's had them for 10 years.
Right.
And so, and mind you, his hair is this long, and I've cut it 4 times. So it might have been to his butt by now. I'm sure had we not cut it, but that would have been a bit ridiculous. But no more. What I did do last night is I put 2 products in his hair. So I put some of the Camille Rose moisture milk on his hair to kind of moisturize his hair, and then I put some of the Herbal Bay Elixir hair oil by All Things Hair, and I put that on his scalp, and so I gave him a nice little scalp massage, and then put this moisturizer on top of his hair, and then I also spritzed his hair with my aloe vera juice mixed with the oil and stuff. Trying to take care of his hair now that we can kind of use the same products now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this groundbreaking moment in his life. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Comment, like, share, subscribe. We have so much more videos coming for you guys. And if you actually want to see his hair routine, because I'm sure that'll probably be a thing going forward, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Like, what kind of videos would you want to see? You want to see his hair care routine, him develop one? I don't know. We can make something happen. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.